Welcome to Sonarfeed.
Love it.
Episode 171. Zakuani and friends. Finally! All right. And I am your co-host, Hugo Garcia, at Me Be The Seattle. Across from me is...
Tom Biro, a.k.a. Bougie Hooli.
All right. Next to him, we have...
Dave Clark at Better Than.
And just to my left, your right online, I have the one and only...
Steve Zakuani.
All right. And his Twitter handle, at...
Zakuani11.
Let's go, man.
Oh,
Welcome
yeah.
to Sonarfeed, man.
This is great. Thanks for having me. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun doing these shows, and we're super excited to have you on, man.
Thank you.
Especially so because we're going to go right into it. Usually we chop it up. What's the weekend like? The match, what's it like? We all saw the match. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But we want to get to the bread and butter. We want to talk about the game of the year. The game of the year. So much so, man, that we had it. You're having it the second. This is the second annual.
Yeah.
Within like 7 months.
Within 7 months. But what it is that we have to do it by the Sounders schedule, the Seattle Reign schedule, and the Seahawks schedule. So we pick and choose our dates. We're like the fourth tier. So we pick our dates. It happened kind of quickly, but it's going to be bigger, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we
it's
can
gonna
tell,
be-
man. So
yeah.
that means it's going to be moving up and up in those tiers, man.
Yeah. So we have, can I list the players?
Oh, by
Can I
all
go
means,
through?
please. We want to hear all of them because I know we heard some of the big ones that are coming
Yeah,
through, but
I mean,
it's all
the
about
main-
the whole show.
The most important ones you'd care about are the former Sounders guys. So Nate Jaqua,
Yeah.
Mike Faccio.
Yeah, he was here.
He was here about 3 weeks ago. For the record, Steve pointed at Dave.
Roger Levesque, Taylor Graham, John Hurtado, Patrick Ianni, Eddie Johnson, Marcus Hanneman, Ezra Hendrickson.
Let's
and
go. Edge is going to put the boots back on.
Also this year, Chris Henderson.
What? Let's
He's
go.
playing. He's playing. So that's the Sounders contingent. And then we have another Seattle guy who's from a different sport, Steven Hauschka. So,
House
Yes.
yeah, he's
Yes.
playing this year.
Big
And
Seahawks fan
there's a
here,
few
so
more, but
awesome.
that's the main Seattle ones, though, yeah.
Nice, man. Well, we heard about that big one, too, that you met with. A former also football player with Steve Hauschka, Ocho Cinco.
Chad Ochocinco, he's coming. He's confirmed. And to be honest, he's more excited than we are because he... No.
How is that even a thing?
It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, he loves the sport, knows all the players, and he's so grateful for invitation. He tried out with Kansas about 3-4 years ago, so he's been around it. But yeah, he's coming. We'll see how much he can play. I'm not sure how good he is, but he'll be here, man.
Oh, that's so awesome, man. That's
Dude plays a
legit.
lot of FIFA.
Yeah, follow
He
his
does.
Twitter
Yeah.
handle because
Yes.
if he's in the
Yeah.
Seattle area for the weekend, he might just show up to your
He'll
house
tell
and
you where
challenge
he
you
is.
to FIFA. He has done that to like
I've
randoms on
seen
the
that. That's
online.
legit.
He's like, "I'll
That's
be at your
legit.
house. You're gonna lose."
He does, and he's good. Yeah,
They do.
And you recently also just played us some people yourself, too, right?
I did. I played in a tournament down at Microsoft. It was the top 6 winners from Brazil, Germany, England, France. Two more. Mexico and the US.
Nice.
And Alonso and myself were there. We played against Germany and Mexican winner, 2-1-2, and we won the game 2-1. So
Wow, that's legit,
we're
man.
not
That's
too bad,
awesome.
man. We're not too bad. Yeah,
Man, we might have to get you here for the Sonarfeed FIFA tournament at the end of the year we do,
I've
man.
heard about this. Bring me. I've heard
Yeah,
about this.
man, let's go. But, man, so it's Sunday. The game's this coming Sunday.
Yes.
The kickoff's at
It's at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
And
Kickoff
here
Sunday.
there's going to be entertainment. So I've done some of the announcements at the S2
Yes.
game. So we know there's going to be some entertainment. Taco trucks?
It's a very similar setup to S2. I'm
Okay.
not sure if there's taco truck. There's some kind of food truck there. There's inflatables for the kids, face painting. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's cotton candy there.
Nice.
I'm just trying to remember.
Get
Yeah,
there
so
early.
yeah.
So get there early. Enjoy the entertainment. Hang out, man. I know I got my ticket ready. I'm gonna be there for sure.
Tickets are at kh.eventbrite.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So
Get in.
what was that?
Get in.
get in.
Yeah.
So,
You didn't mention two of the players. Now, one of them's probably going to get booed in this
That's
crowd.
why I didn't want to mention that.
no, mention it. Mention
No, I'll
it.
mention-
Food is like polite.
There's obviously from the MLS US national team side, Jimmy Conrad is coming. Oguchi Onyewu. There's Dwayne De Rosario coming.
Nice.
And then another guy who I'm happy about, but he's got a mixed reaction. Landon Donovan will be here.
I'm excited.
Who are ya? Who are ya? What? Landon
And
Donovan?
you guys are allowed to boo him and give him some steak. He's a good
man,
sport.
Trust me.
He's going to hear it.
I will let
Yeah.
him have it. I am a big on the national team side, so I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Ah.
So my team is the Mexican El Tri, and
There
we
you
have
go.
a lot of battles with him. So he's definitely gonna hear it from
That's
me.
cool.
For sure,
I think
man.
he's ready. He's ready. He knows what's coming. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think
man.
on the
to see
outside
D-Row.
out of the outside MLS players, he's the only one that's actually played at Starfire before.
He is,
'Cause
huh?
He actually played at Open Cup games
He
there.
did. Yeah, a couple years.
Unlike a lot of the people that are
2010.
called like a prima donna,
Yeah.
he didn't do that. He
He
was like,
played.
"Yep, I play."
There you go.
Do
There
you know
go.
if we're gonna have any of the ranked players by chance? I know they're in the middle of the season.
Yeah, we tried to. Last year had Seattle Reign and Sounders Women, and they were great. Some of them really stole the show.
Nice.
Tried to this year, but they have a game the day before. So
Okay.
it was off
Couple
limits
people
for us.
here,
Yeah.
audience kind of shouted out. Wanted to
yeah,
know.
yeah. We
So-
wish. They were great, though. They were great.
Awesome, man. So tell us some of the highlights. I want to know about. So I was out of town. I couldn't make last year, man. It was
Yeah.
one of the one things I was so regretted I couldn't make. But
Uh-huh.
what was some of the highlights of last year that people were buzzing about? Like what happened about last year? Because I want people to understand what they might miss out on
Yeah.
if you don't jump in and get these tickets.
There was a highlight last year that was so good that we turned it into an actual feature this year, and that's Marcus Hanneman on the pitch. So he's not playing in goal. He wanted to play forward,
Let it happen.
and he
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
He asked for number 10, but that was gone. So
Got elevated by Chad Marshall this year.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
look at
yeah.
Chad.
Wait,
so
who are going to be the keepers then? Yeah.
we have. You
I
guys will
don't-
know Doug Herrick. He was here a
yeah?
few years ago.
Okay.
Guam
And-
national teamer.
And
Really?
and Jordan
Yeah.
Jennings. That's our two goalies.
Nice.
I initially went for Casey and Marcus, and this is their words, not mine. They said they were too old. So Marcus on the field, Casey Keller guest coaching.
Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome.
Jordan Jennings, I think, played in a friendly.
He
He had
played,
a
yeah.
that was the friendly
Yeah.
where Terry Boss got red carded.
Celtic, I think it was.
Yeah.
Celtic.
Wow.
Yeah, good memory. Yeah,
That is
20,
good memory,
2010. Yeah. Celtic. Yeah.
Nice, man. So I saw a tweet earlier about maybe a contest of some sort also.
Yes, halftime contest, crossbar challenge. Brad Evans against Stephen Hauschka, MC'd by Marcus
man.
Hanneman. So those two are really good friends, so they're gonna go at it. So, but Hauschka can play. I played with him about 7 months ago, and he can play. Like he can actually,
legit?
yeah. But
Oh, nice.
he's just not fit. He can't run. He said so. His request was no running, just free kicks and corners. So that's
Is
what
that
he
like
said.
some
So
football trash talk right there?
you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll be, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love it, man. Man, so tell us about the game's going to be amazing, obviously.
Yeah.
All these names. So there's a lot of big names that are, coming out to
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
your charity.
Yeah.
So tell us about what you're doing with your charity.
You know, to be honest, the simple way to understand it is just scholarships, and they're in education and in soccer. So education one is based in Africa, helping Congolese kids where I'm from, and here we're helping out local youth afford club soccer. I grew up playing soccer in England where you woke up, you chose a team. If you were good
Yeah.
enough, you played.
Boom.
No money. Here it's so expensive, so I try and help those costs for the kids. So the game's being played to raise money for scholarships.
Nah, that's awesome, man. I remember I played a little bit before I immigrated from Mexico, and it was the same in
Yeah.
Mexico. The clubs are all
play.
they're all sports, all community, and it's super accessible.
exactly.
Everybody plays.
Exactly.
So that makes a big difference, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about. I know that there was already one young girl who you supported this last year with
Yeah.
what happened from last year.
Yeah. Her name was Maddie. She's with PAC Northwest, and it was kind of hard to choose, so we had them submit like essays on why they should be the one. Came down to about 4 or 5 finalists. They were all so good, but eventually we ended up voting for her. And my hope is that we can get 5-6 kids this year. Last year just did one as a test drive. It went really well. So if we can get 5 or 6 kids, I think we're
That's
on our
awesome,
way.
man.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool. I'm really digging that, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about the game, man? What are your thoughts on the whole event, everything that's coming up?
I think it's super fun. I mean, it's obviously great to support something we're all passionate about. You know, at the end of the day, and people love Steve.
Yeah.
And I think people love a lot of the folks on the field. There will be people there who love LD, I'm sure.
I'm sure there will be.
But no, I think it's a lot of fun. It's just a cool way to do something a little bit different. And, Starfire is obviously an awesome experience at the end of the day. So I think there's people that are there to go and yell and scream, and there's people that are there to go and be the prawn sandwich eating people at the front of the front of the stands there this weekend. So I think it's going to be fun.
You offered up a couple fans had the opportunity to buy their way on to play, and I know one of them. Talk about how excited are you to meet these guys?
No, it's cool. So last year we put 3 spots up, and they went within an hour. So we did 5 this year, and they went within a week. I think it's cool because I know a lot of fans, they support us, but it's not just the playing part. It's getting to be in the locker room before the game, hanging out with the guys, banter, talking, the coaches team talk, walking out with the dream team kids,
Man, so awesome.
warming up, like going through the whole day as a pro. It's kind of what that experience is. So the playing time is cool, but I think most of the guys last year enjoyed behind the scenes, which they're going to get to have. It's really cool.
So awesome.
That's like an experience. I'm big on that, at auctions and whatnot.
Yeah.
You can get a shirt that's signed or you can get an experience like
that's
that.
unbelievable.
Precisely.
And that's part of why we do this, to kind of get to know that part of being. I mean, we see the players, we saw you on the pitch, but getting to know the players behind at what they do, how they prepared, what are the rituals.
Exactly.
That's something that's really unique, man. Big props to those people that are going to be there. I know that we have someone here that might have a family member joining, right? Yeah.
Nice.
And I know a lot of our friends set up some of the tables or some table setups. I think those are all sold out, maybe.
So VIP tables, which you've probably seen at Starfight, they have them for the S2 games and I think Open Cup games, gone. So we opened up some pitch side seating, which is a row of benches along the pitch, gone as well. So pretty much everything's gone except the general admission.
General admission.
Yeah.
As you guys are seeing this, man, make sure you jump on the tickets. Get on there. Don't miss out. Trust me, you're not going to miss out on this. So we want to support that too. Mm-hmm. So what we did at Sonarfeed is we have your book.
Oh, there you go.
Your book. There it is. So we wanted to ask folks, if you buy your ticket tonight, and we'll have Steve sign this book for you.
Yeah.
And we'll choose someone randomly throughout, that bought the tickets and sent a DM with proof to have their own signed book from Steve, man.
Love it.
Hey, man.
Love it.
Definitely love supporting what you're doing.
That's a good question.
Yeah, will Mike Facito be standing next to Dave?
I mean, Dave's probably going to need to sit down.
Can you arrange that?
We can. We can.
Oh, my God. Any questions from anybody here hanging out?
We can talk Sounders, too.
We will.
I mean, who's the person you're most excited to see playing?
Dwayne De Rosario.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I don't think he got his props like he should. Yeah. Like, fantastic player. And I know Landon is the MLS guy, but for me, when I played, D-Ro was the number one.
Yeah. By the way, Steve's saying that he's 6-time best 11 player. He finished first in the MVP
didn't get
once,
the props.
second in the MVP once,
Right.
and third in the MVP once. But didn't get the props that he deserved.
No, still no. It's
Merely
weird.
the second most on all those lists.
I think,
awesome.
I mean, like, I'm talking like within. Sometimes when you're around players, you hear guys talk about who they like from other teams, and among players, he's super highly rated. So I can't wait to see him. It's been a few years since I've actually seen him, so I can't wait. Yeah.
It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to use this little nugget. What player were you talking to that introduced you to Dwayne De Rosario the first time you talked to him in real life?
Thierry Henry.
Okay, just a guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
Thierry Henry. Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh, speaking of which, man, I think you, I've been hearing some of the stuff you've been doing. I hear you have quite a collection of jerseys back home in London.
Oh yeah,
How many do you have, man? Just curious.
Overall, from 2009 until I stopped playing in the end of 2014, I probably collected over 40. Most of them were just guys like my friends, guys I've played with.
Right.
But the key ones were Thierry Henry. I did get a Landon jersey, but the biggest one was David Beckham. So, and there's a good story behind that. But it was, that was.
What is that story, man?
You guys wanna hear it?
Just tell the story.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, after the 2010 playoffs in LA, they just beaten us. I think ESPN captured it. So the game ends, and he knew I was from London. I'd been talking to him during the game. I went to ask him for his shirt, and he points and says, "This is going to charity. I can't give it to you." So I thought he's just saying no in a very nice way. Right. But get to the changing room, and the LA Galaxy equipment guy, his name is Raul, comes in with 4 Beckham shirts. 1 goes to Ziggy, I think 1 for Alonso, 1 for Freddie Montero, and 1 for someone else. And I didn't get mine. So I said, Raul, where's my shirt? And he says, no, David wants to give you his one personally.
Wow.
So if you've ever gone to their stadium, there's a massive hallway that links the 2 locker rooms.
Right.
So I'm literally walking down this hallway. We turn the corner, and David's coming. David, his son Brooklyn, I think one of the bodyguards, and the nanny. And they're coming right towards me. And he's holding a Beckham jersey. Comes over, hands it to me. We small talk for about 2 or 3 minutes. And as I'm leaving, he says, well, where's your shirt? And I was like, are you serious? I said, look, Nolan, our equipment guy's already taking it onto the team bus. It's gone. He goes, well, make sure you mail me one. So came to Seattle. I mailed him a jersey, signed it, sent back his jersey, got him to sign it, and he sent it back. And then off of that, we developed a friendship so that when I got injured, he was the first person to send me a message.
Wow.
David
That's
Beckham.
crazy.
Good
That's
guy.
awesome.
Crazy,
yeah,
man.
good guy. So
For someone growing up in London, I mean,
he's the king. Like David Beckham in
Yeah.
England. Not sure if you guys remember, but in 2002, to make that World Cup, England had to either tie or win against Greece. And in the 90th minute, he took a free kick and scored, took us to the World Cup. And since that day, he was immortal in England. So I grew up watching a guy. We love him in England. To play against him was great, fantastic player. But I can honestly say an even better human being. Great guy.
Man,
Great
that's guy. Awesome. That is quite
Yeah.
that is quite a story. That's awesome, man. I love it. Well, I mean, you mentioned a little bit. Talk about the game. You know, you've been doing the analyst job now with the broadcast team. You're there. So tell us a little bit of what you thought about the game this last week and the team overall.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that Saturday was the best they've played this year. Still wasn't perfect, but for the most part, was the best they've played. I thought Dempsey in the first half ran the show. That's the most hungry I've seen Clint in a very long time.
Yeah, I think so too,
lots
man.
of touches, playing guys in. Can't say much more about Jordan Morris. When you're hot, you're just hot. So he's on fire right now. But to be fair, the guy who stood out on Saturday was Eric Freeberg. He was tremendous. And I remember him from his first stint here. Such a good passer. He's the guy you want on your team when you're doing possession in training because he won't lose the ball. And then on Saturday, I think we saw what he can do for this team. So overall, it was good. I still felt, San Jose had a few dangerous opportunities, but Seattle's been good defensively the whole season, so I wasn't really worried about that. And then you still want to see them generate more clear-cut scoring opportunities and get more than just Jordan and Dempsey. You want to see Hurt get going, Nelson Valdez get going, but it's on the way up.
I think so too, man. I kind of see them this year definitely being more defensive-minded, but I'm okay with things going a little bit slowly on offense because it's really forcing that defense to just, be strong. In the end, it's gonna help us out a lot more towards the second half once we get over the hump of the whole Copa America and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a lot of our 2009 team. That team, we were good defensively first. Tyrone Marshall, John Hurtado, James Riley, Leo when he came, Casey in goal, Ozzy and Brad. It was that back 6 or 7 that kept us in games. But the difference was we were built to counterattack. I was going, Lundberg was going, Nayasi was going, and then we were feeding Freddie. So I don't think this team's built for the counterattack unless you put Anderson in, which Ziggy's not probably going to make him a starter. With Evenshitz, Freeberg, Dempsey, these are passers, guys. So I want to see them be a bit more offensive because of the guys they have.
With
for sure.
You said Jordan's on fire right now. He tied somebody.
Rookie record.
They keep records for everything, man. I know that's a record. 4 goals. I mean, okay,
that's a pretty good record.
Yeah, but what I will say is, I'm happy. Like it's a thing where, as a fan of the team, I hope he scores 8, 9, 10 goals. So if he includes breaking that, I don't know how he stood so long that my rookie record of 4 goals, then that's good.
Because it's hard to do.
It is, man.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think for someone like, if you're going to play a lot of games as a striker on this team, I think you can score goals. And I think Jordan's good enough to do it. Right. But I'm not taking away from what I did. It was, at the time, as a left midfielder, coming out of college, it was okay. It was okay. If I went back, I could do more. I think I could do more. So.
Let's go. I love it, man.
I don't think anybody would complain if you were back on the field.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
You mentioned when we chatted, you mentioned there was one goal you wish that one shot
Yes.
you wish you could take again, right? So
Yeah, there's more than one, but the biggest one, I missed a great chance in the playoffs. Our first year against Houston, 1-on-1, shot the ball. Pat Onstead came out and saved it. If I score that, we go 1-0 up, and I don't think that Houston team beats us. We were better than them, so we just couldn't find a way to get that first goal, and that sits on my mind quite a bit. But it's so weird. You end up remembering a lot of the chances you missed more than you scored. It's just the way your mind works, and you wish you had it back. But that was definitely a big one, and I wish I could have that one back. Yeah,
we're definitely our own toughest critics, man.
So.
We just talked about Herc a second ago. That guy is all over the field.
Yes.
What do you think about him? I think he's changed his game up a little bit.
He has, yeah.
I mean, you see him, frankly, in the defensive end, and you're like, oh, Oba did that, so it's fun to see Herc do it too.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive to me.
It is. He was, Herc was a speed guy, especially when he played on Santos. He was the guy on the end of a lot of their moves. He hurt us a couple times. That was his game. He's older now, not as quick as he used to be, so I understand why he's changed his game. What I like about him, he's a team guy. I think he's a guy who, no ego, he's coming in to work for the team. He's going to track back, same as Oba used to do. They're going to play for the team and then take his chances when they come. I still think he wants to be scoring and being involved up there, but I think it's good to have guys. Valdez is the same. They're going to put their bodies on the line. They're going to track back, and I like that about Herc. But he's a great signing, good for the locker room, so much experience. When he started training, I was one of the guys saying that you got to sign him, just make it work. And I'm glad they did. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Excellent,
awesome,
excellent.
So the Copa America and Olympics is coming up, man. Who do you think is going to have to step up the most during that time? Because we are going to lose a lot of guys, key guys, and it's really scary almost. Something like that.
No, that's where you're going to have to depend a lot on Alonso. He's going to be that guy left. But
really?
I'm no worries about him whatsoever. But it's going to come down. That's where you need production from the Kovars, Christian Roldan, Anderson if he plays. Like these guys, the thing you have to understand is, Ziggy said something a couple weeks ago that I agree with. It's not about young or old. It's about good or bad players. And if those guys are there, I think they're good enough. And it's at a point now where you want to see them contribute, not 10 goals each, but 2 or 3 each. And if you spread that out, that's 8, 9, 10 more goals for the team. So Jordan going, Clint going, you're going to need those guys. Defensively, with Brad going, I love Brad, but if Zach Scott's there, I'm not too concerned because he's been around the block. He knows what it's about. Nice. It's the younger guys who are getting opportunities. Darwin Jones even are thrown into that mix, who now you've got to start getting points in this league. You're good enough to start getting points.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got one question from the audience here. It's asking about your brother.
Yeah.
And wondering where he's playing and how he's doing. He's a couple years older, right?
He's been playing Peterborough United in England. They've been League One, Championship, League One, Championship, back to League One. Yeah. He's been there, I want to say, 8, 9 years now. He's been club captain for a while. They were originally coached by Alex Ferguson's son, Darren Ferguson. So this year they just missed the playoffs into the Championship. And so it's actually a big summer for him because he's out of contract. And, probably does want to stay there. He's got families based there. But, who knows? Who knows? He's played in Greece before. He's not averse to going overseas. But we'll see. But he's been playing pro since he was 16. So he's had a long career.
We've had some amazing questions, and that we could go on forever. But I know you're limited time.
A little bit more.
We are going to hit you with our Sonarfeed hot seat questions, man. So these are the real, the ones that everybody wants to really know about. Hard-hitting, important.
Let's do it.
Controversial. We're gonna go with first an OG question: Tupac or Biggie?
Ooh, great question. My answer is easy. Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, for me. I'll tell you what. The first album I ever listened to hip hop while I lived in England was Biggie's "Ready to Die" album. And play it at least weekly. Yes. Tremendous. Love Tupac, but for me, Biggie Smalls.
Nice. Yeah. All right. What about the cookie? I'm going to let Tom go with that one.
Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Yeah, man. Take your time because this one is going to divide the team here.
It's been a few years, man, because I've changed my diet so much. I don't really eat cookies, but what's the team? What's the two? What's you guys? What's the
there are many Girl Scout cookies.
Yes.
But Samoas and Thin Mints
those
tend to be the two that most people
I was going to say, the last ones I bought were Thin Mints.
Thin Mints.
I got good news for you, by the way. Your new diet, Thin Mints are vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the
are
only ones
Okay,
vegan.
we're gonna
There
give
you
you a chance.
There you
We're
go.
gonna give you a chance to reconsider. Is
Uzo
that,
is on Team Samoas.
is that your final answer, Steve?
I'm on Team Thin Mints.
I'm under pressure here.
I'm in the minority. I'm in the tagalongs, the peanut butter ones. 'cause
Okay, that's yours.
yeah, they got protein in them, right? You know, it's like a meal then.
This is tough.
No
But
pressure. But if you want to stick with the first answer, we're okay. We're okay.
are you Thin Mints?
Thin Mints.
I've got to stay with you, man. Because I just got to
Excellent.
do it. I can't change.
Thin
I
Mints.
can't change.
Now I gotta find some Thin Mints to give to Steve on Sunday.
Yeah, bring them.
Everybody ate them all already.
Somebody's got them in their freezer.
Somebody does. Glenn, I think, has like 60
Yeah,
boxes.
There we go.
Heather
So,
has Thin
We'll
Mints.
track down
Excellent.
some Thin Mints for
Please
you.
do. I'll take them.
Another one that's very dear to my heart, man, is taco. What is your favorite kind of taco?
I mean, I've been eating a lot of fish tacos lately, but to be fair, I got married in San Diego. We were right on the border between there and Mexico.
Yeah.
And I didn't go, but a lot of my family went over and came back, and they came out with some authentic street tacos from Mexico. So any of those, they work for me.
What was what was the last taco you had?
Fish.
What kind? Fish
taco. Yeah.
Nice, man. Got any of our
I'm trying to. One of the other classics is when you play EA FIFA, what team and what player are you?
Bayern Munich and Arjen Robben. That's my favorite player. Yeah, Bayern Munich and
That's
Robben.
your favorite player?
Yeah,
Excellent.
we used to do on FIFA. We used to do a FIFA tournament in the locker room. Like me, Nayasi, Leo, Alonso, and Montero, and Alvaro Fernandez. 6 every day you came in, you play one fixture, a whole season long thing. So I used to use Bayern Munich, and I've got to say I won the league. So
Nice,
they
man.
did me well. Yeah.
you know, being that you've done so much with going from playing professionally now with doing what you do with the broadcasting, putting on the fundraiser, you're a very busy person. So I like to get behind the mind into how you get to be so efficient at everything you do. So what is the last $100 purchase that $100 or less that impacted what you do every day the most?
Good question. Some soccer balls. Literally bought some balls the other day to start training. This was like 3 weeks ago. So I've been actually going to Starfire almost daily in the last month, secretly, just getting myself in shape.
You played some pickup games too with like random
I
fans.
did
You're like,
that.
I need to practice.
Yeah, that's the day I bought the ball. So I bought some balls, tweeted out to some fans, hey, meet me at Starfire, let's play. They came, about 30, 40 people. We played a pickup game. It was fun.
Oh, my God.
That was my kind of
Did
first
they know
step
who you
back
were?
into it. I think they
I'm
did.
not saying it bad way. Just
Yeah,
it's
some
just
people
funny.
might-
Yeah.
People sandbag. They do that all the time.
True. So that was probably, I would say that one in terms of impacting what I do. And then what else did I buy? Probably, was a big Mario Kart fan growing up. So I actually went to like this old store where they sell the old consoles.
Yeah.
And I worked out a deal to get a Nintendo 64 and with Mario Kart, which I've been playing.
Mario Kart.
Whoa.
Playing a lot.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That we're
That's
gonna
a
have to
good
incorporate
call.
that.
I'm gonna go with another classic question. This one's
Yeah.
for Lisa.
Yeah.
And your favorite book?
Ooh, man.
Nice.
Tough. There's a few. I would say the best autobiography I read was Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela. It's a great story.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough. David Beckham's book's pretty good too in terms of soccer people, but Nelson Mandela. Yeah.
You've reread that one a few times, I'm guessing.
7 times, I think, yeah. And Richard
Seven.
Branson's
Wow.
book too is good. Richard Branson has a
Yeah.
great, that's the Virgin guy with all the airlines and
yeah. Oh yeah.
a million businesses. His
For sure.
stories really
Not many
good.
people know this, but Steve is a huge like history buff and sociology, autobiography,
Nice, man.
that type of
Yeah.
stuff.
If you had not played soccer professionally, what would you be doing, man?
Oh.
You know, my English teacher, when I was like 16, told me I should go to university and study English.
Right.
I didn't do too good in school because I was so focused on soccer. But the 2 A's I did get were English language and English lit. Love Shakespeare. I read Shakespeare. So that's a possibility, but the more I get older, I don't think so. So even though she wanted that for me, it's tough to say. I'd like to think something involved with the sport, maybe coaching or something along those lines. But I'm glad it went the way it did, so I have to think about it.
Speaking of Shakespeare, have you ever done any acting?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Yeah, man.
Bad
you're
actor.
natural, you're a natural speaker.
Bad actor though. No, different story. No, acting no. I've got a lot of friends in that field who are actresses and actors, and I respect that craft. But for me to do it, no, there's no way.
No.
There's no way.
I have a non-rapid fire, but one that people want to know. I think it's a great question. Who in the EPL right now do you want to see? Forget the like retirement age players and the jokes people make, but like if you could pick somebody right now that you think would come here, who would it be?
The guy at Leicester, Mahrez.
Yeah.
What player? What's a player?
Mahrez.
Leicester. What's a player? I mean, if he came, I want. That's why I'm so happy that Giovinco came. When players come at that age,
yes.
like they still that. And if he came, that would be for me. He's the most exciting guy I watched this season.
He's both the first Arab and the first African to win the Player of the Year
in England. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is huge,
He's
man.
tremendous.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
I bet you not a lot of people are thinking about
And
going
Sounders,
after
if you
that
get
guy.
him, I can translate. Although I hear his English is probably pretty good. But
All right, man. What's the best advice you've ever gotten, man?
Ever, like soccer, life, everything.
Life. Yeah.
I would say advice from my parents: never make a decision in the heat of the moment. So
That's really good.
I tried to practice that quite a bit. If like, especially during my career, when things would happen or disagree with the coach's decision, if I really want to go say something, I just wouldn't. I'd sleep on it and then think about it the next day, and that's helped me make some good decisions. Ziggy will probably tell you I didn't always follow that, but for the most part, I would say that's kept me. Yeah, that's a good advice. Yeah.
Nice.
Aaron Riley, the founder of Sonarfeed, wants to know your favorite non-Facito sounder that you played with. No, I might have added one word in there, but no, your favorite fellow sounder from.
It has to be Alonso, and I'll tell you why. Because that first year group was special, but I got to know Ozzy really well right in the beginning, because I was always wanting to practice my Spanish.
¿Hablas español?
Un poco.
Me gusta.
Because I used to speak French a lot, but I'd see Freddie and Ozzy and those guys. They were more my personality type, like joking around at training, and not that the other guys were too serious, but for me. So they were playing pranks, like in the shower. Alonso's big at that, so I became
Nice.
I became friends with him, and we had such a good understanding on the field. I'm sure I could have probably gotten way more assists than I did during my career because he gave me so many good passes. But we loved it. We would try and get together on the same team in training. We would always tell Ziggy, me and him, and we stayed friends. So I would say Alonso. And then after that, there was a guy who was here for like 5-6 months, Blaise Kufo. And
That's right.
I'll tell you why. He was here for 5-6 months. He's from the Congo. Was a lot older than I was. But his game when he came, our team went, I think, 10-2-3 to finish that season. And he was a huge reason why. Because he would hold the ball up so well that I could make my runs all day. And he took my game to another level. So he was a favorite guy to play with.
He made you practice your French, too.
I had to speak to him in French, yeah. Because we had Seba my first year. He left. Blaise came. He left. But we have Jimmy here now, Traore. So, but Jimmy likes talking English. So, I don't know. I need a new French guy.
Man, this is awesome, man. Any questions? I want to see if anybody here also has some questions. Anybody here that's hanging out?
I was someone asked me. I will just answer this. Someone asked me earlier who the best finisher was that I played with, like in the forward.
Yeah.
And today's a good day to answer it because my answer, which I probably said before somewhere, is Sammy Ochoa, and he hurt S2 last night.
Yeah, I was there.
But if you came to our trainings when he was here, and there was finishing practice, by far the best. I played with Oba. I played with Clint. I played with Eddie. I played with Montero. In terms of finishing, not the best, not the most skillful. One-on-one, who's my money on to finish? Sammy.
Wow.
Without question.
That one I never in a million years.
We got a
question.
couple ECS capos that are watching.
Yeah.
Is there a song that when you were out on the field that got you up that was your favorite?
When they start doing that Seattle Sounders chant from one side to the other, and you're
Call and response, yeah.
oh my god, when that one, and then the other one, I'm always drinking, and what is it, that one?
We know that one.
Like we hear it from the pitch.
That's
so
the
it's
song
like,
you might hear on Sunday.
Yeah, I love it.
They hear it from the pitch, man.
Yeah,
They
so
hear
it's
it
like,
on the
no,
pitch.
honestly, it really is a 12th man. It's a boost because, and the thing here about Seattle, we could be losing 1-0, 2-0, and they'll still keep singing. It's helped us so many times make that extra run or that extra tackle. Like, it's huge, man. It really is. It's huge. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's fun to hear.
Boom. That right there, man. That
Yeah.
is so awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Definitely makes it. A lot of people, spend a lot of
Oh, yeah.
time. Oh, what was that?
Do you want to come in the section one of these days?
Listen, when I broke my leg and I was out for a while, I asked the team to let me sit in that section. They didn't think it was
And
good
they
for
were
my
like,
rehab.
no.
Yeah. They said no. But now, if there's a game I'm not working, one of my dreams
anytime.
is to experience a game in that section, do all the jumping.
Yeah, anytime.
Tom's one of the co-presidents, so as soon as I see your name not on the the list,
let me know. I want to do at least a game.
Find us. We're
Yeah.
happy to have you.
Yeah.
I'd
That'd be
love
awesome.
to come.
It'll happen.
I'd
Thank
love
you.
to come. Yeah.
So the announcer, the man, the voice, James, asked a very important question. Do you like Marmite?
Ooh, that's the one. I don't, but
Yeah.
but
We don't blame you.
yeah.
We don't blame you at all. Yeah.
You're lucky he's not here.
I know, right?
Man, excited
That's
he's
funny.
gonna get to do he's gonna be at the match on Sunday doing calls.
James is actually doing a PA announcing all of
Yeah.
that. So we've got, there's 39 players. So there's a lot of the guys I named, but also a lot of guest players who we give opportunity to, like friends I have in the area. So there's going to be a lot. I just feel that one of the reasons for doing this game in the first place was I wish when I grew up I'd see Henry play with, I don't know, the Brazilian Ronaldo or this guy, like
Yeah.
guys who we never played with before, playing together, and here in our backyard in Seattle. I think that's a special thing to do, which is one of my reasons for doing this game. So hopefully it continues every single year and the names get bigger and bigger. I have some guys in mind for next year. He would be huge, so we'll see where it goes. But it's going to be a great experience on Sunday, man. It really will.
Man, you guys, do not miss out. Get those tickets. If you get your tickets today, don't forget, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Any producer questions, man, from our producer?
So we got one. Best locker room prank you ever saw or took part in?
Ooh.
you don't even have to worry about safe for
Good
work
one.
because we're at a bar.
Yeah, you're good. You're totally good.
No, I mean there's some small ones. We used to have these I don't know why the guys were scared of ice, like actual cold ice water, but these massive like Gatorade tubs we'd fill up with ice water. We'd wait till someone was in the shower, run in there, when the back's turned, and dump it over them. That was the initial prank, and then Alonso took it one step further, where he actually wouldn't fill the thing. You'd think he filled it up, so he'd walk into the shower, he'd make a sound to get your attention. You turn and see him start panicking because you think there's ice and start cowering, and there's nothing in there, and we're all dying laughing, and that was even better. And then Freddie used to have some pranks, but they were like when we'd be like at team dinners. You do things like small little things, but yeah, I think the ice prank was the one I remember the most.
Nice, man. That's awesome. You heard back from Freddie or Oba how they're doing over there in China?
I talked to Oba. I spoke to Freddie in a while. I spoke to Freddie like a year ago, but not much. But Oba was like my friend, so we talked. We talked recently, like all the time. He travels, man. He's lived everywhere. Like Oba's gone everywhere. China's nothing for him. It's what he does,
Showing
and,
up on Instagram somewhere.
Yeah, so he's a good guy, but he loved, I'll tell you, and this is not just saying, he loved Seattle. He loved his time here. I know that for a fact. But we did speak a while ago. He'll be back here during his break, during the summer at some point. So, yeah, I talked to Oba. I talked to most of the guys.
So we can kidnap him then?
Yeah,
you
let's get
can
him.
try.
Let's
He's
get
quick.
him.
He's
Let's
fast.
get
You
him.
can try. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to fight Herc for that 9.
Yeah, yeah. No kidding. Speaking of summer, man, so who do you think is going to win Copa America?
I want to say Brazil, but without Neymar, it's tough. It's hard to bet against Messi.
Mexico.
Almost Messi.
I saw the ME come out.
M-E-C.
I know.
Yeah, it's tough. I hope the US do well, but it's hard to go against Messi. If he's on his game, then nothing you can do. So,
Man, I'm hoping home field advantage. Technically, Mexico is going to have a lot of support
Technically,
here, so.
home field advantage.
Technically, I'm just
That's
throwing it out
excellent.
there. Yeah.
I'm going to use that.
Trash talk right there. It's brilliant.
I'm saying, it's true.
that's funny.
What about the greatest speak? I mean, you've done a lot of speaking engagements.
Yeah.
What is the greatest engagement that you want to do speaking wise? Because that's something you've really been doing. Someone that you really want to do or speak at.
Maybe like a TED Talk, like something like that.
Nice.
I think
Yeah.
down the
Nice.
line at some point, like an actual official TED Talk, that'd be cool. But I've spoken in so many places at this point. I just don't publicize it much because it kind of it just happens. But a TED Talk would be that'd be
that's huge, man. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of walk talk.
You had to speak in French recently.
Yes. So
talk a little bit about
Yeah.
that. That was
Really?
through.
So I
Hope
flew
and-
back to Africa last year for the first time in 23 years.
Wow.
Met with these kids who their school they built with their own hands, basically.
Wow, that's intense.
Out of mud and clay, whatever.
Yeah.
And I spoke in that school to these kids who are from the Congo where I'm from, and don't speak English. So I did the whole 1 hour talk in French, which I can speak French, but for an hour. It's tough, but the second I began in French, I had them because it was one of their own, and it was huge. That was probably the best one. Yeah,
man, that's intense.
Yeah.
Have you? Who's your favorite team in Mexico, man? In Liga MX?
From a few years ago, from who I played, the best we played against was Monterrey. I liked their player Suazo. Who is that? His name Humberto Suazo. Yeah, he was
okay.
Tremendous player, but the best was probably Santos Laguna.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really looking to Chivas Guadalajara.
Sad Ugo.
Chivas Guadalajara. I am sad, man. Chivas is my squad. They made the playoffs. They're back.
Good team.
They're going up against Club America.
Thinking back a little bit to your playing days, Siggy's half times he can sometimes be a little resigned, sometimes forceful. Talk about the time that he was the most fired up to get you guys like blood flowing. Maybe he had a bad first half. That one's from Todd Peterson watching
nice
online.
question, Todd.
I mean, there's a couple. There was one year we went to play, I think, Metapon in El Salvador, and the pitch was the worst pitch I've played on. I mean, waterlogged, the ball wouldn't bounce, horrible game. I think we were 1-0 down. We had to tie at least 1-1. And we came in at halftime, and it was like awful locker room, cold. There was no windows, nothing. And Ziggy walks in there, he lost it. I was one of the guys that he went at. So I remember it, but he came, he pulled no punches. Came out second half. Flacco scored a header up, tied 1-1.
Flacco!
Everything went well. But that's when I remember. I remember some after games. Ziggy's not always a halftime guy. He's an after game guy sometimes. And there's been a few of those as well. Yeah.
Had a couple of those this season.
Yeah.
Sure.
Olix.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, early on. Yeah, there were a
Oh,
few.
about that.
But the
didn't
run all
pass.
the way down the field. Yeah.
Brilliant dribble.
Yeah.
Followed up with the brilliant dribble, and
Should have
got to
passed.
make that decision.
He's got jokes,
Or
though.
shot. I mean,
Do something, yeah. But should have not the way when he should have passed. But he's exciting, man. He gets me off my seat, and
is he the of the current roster? He's the one with this kind of the skill set most like yours,
I
right?
see a lot of myself in him. I would love to see him develop I would say the football side where he includes his teammates. He's a very good individual player. One-on-one, face you up, beat you. But it gets easier when you do it with your teammates. Oba could beat you one-on-one, but most of his goals were 1-2s with Clint. So that's something he could add to his game.
A few people have said that he's used to playing elsewhere, or on the international squad or national squad, excuse me, where like he's the man.
Right.
And it's not that there was people with no skills on his team, but it's his job to do X.
To do that,
and then
right.
he's out there and he's like, oh yeah, I have Jordan Morris and Clint Dempsey and this guy and
No,
he's
it's
used to
an
carrying
adjustment.
everybody.
Yeah, we all go through that. I came from Akron, where you come as a number one pick, the college team, but I realized very quickly that there's Freddie Lundberg next to me. This Montero guy is pretty good. There's Alonso, there's Evans. He just won a MLS Cup. So you figure out your place in the team quickly. And the way you earn respect in football is you play well, you get goals, you do your job. So I would say my second year was the time when if Lundberg's making a run, but I think I've got a better option, I'm taking my option. The first year, it doesn't matter. The ball's going to Freddie Lundberg. So, but you earn that through time. So.
This is a good. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No,
I was going to say this is a good question. Have you paid attention to this Columbus situation right now?
I know
with
Kai
Kamara
really well.
and stuff. And again, like those guys are all amazing players. Like fun to watch. Whatever. I hate Columbus, but whatever.
But the two players.
What do you think about that? It's an interest. He's made a lot of comments, and now the team is starting to comment too, and that doesn't usually end well.
No, I think those things should be kept internal. You shouldn't, no matter how you feel about a certain teammate. I didn't like all my teammates. Like, you're not best friends, that's fine. But when you publicize it like that, he's put now his coach in a tough spot, and he's put Higuain in a very tough spot as well. Now people are going to be watching Columbus looking for, if Higuain doesn't pass to Kai on one play, everyone's going to read too much into it.
Well, they had a
Micro.
between the two of them that day
so
already.
He might have some valid points with trying to get a hat trick. That's fine, but you don't publicize.
Well,
it.
remember, it's selfish to not have Kai take the penalty for the hat trick, but it's not selfish for Kai to want to win the Golden Boot by taking more penalties.
Exactly.
That's not
So-
selfish.
Exactly. So I know Kai, he's a great guy, but that for me, it's not something I would never do.
Not a
that.
good look?
There's some things you don't say. Yeah.
You mentioned respect earlier. We want to respect your time. You
Yes.
said you.
We got a few more minutes.
Okay.
We got a few more.
Just-
Yeah.
Excellent.
This is cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do a few more.
It is,
yeah.
man. It's fun.
Yeah.
Some other questions.
I think there's some good questions online. Let's see.
Keep them coming, guys.
Grandma had a
people-
question. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I had two. I only had two roommates during my time with the Sounders. Well, more, but two. So on road trips, it would never change. It was always Patrick Iani. And then if he was injured or he couldn't come on a trip, then it would be Eddie Johnson. And my last year with the Sounders, it was Eddie Johnson. But in preseason, Ziggy likes to mix them up, get you with guys who you might not spend much time with.
Right.
And for me, the way Ziggy did it was because Leo Gonzalez always played behind me. So it was me and Leo. And great guy. Great guy.
How's he doing, by the way, man? Have you
Leo's
talked to
good.
him?
I think Leo, yeah. I hope when he's done there, he comes back and has some role with the
Regresa,
club.
regresa, Leo,
We've
te
heard
queremos
that.
que
We've heard that
regreses.
rumor.
I'm hoping.
So-
He's like, honestly, he's one of the funniest guys in the locker room. Any game with Leo, whether it's we play soccer, tennis before practice, or FIFA, he's the biggest cheater. It's unbelievable. And it got to the point where everyone knew, like Ziggy, like if it was even 5-on-5 in training, and the ball might be out, it might not. Whichever way Leo claims it is, we call the opposite way because it was the worst.
no,
But
can't trust him.
no, it was. Oh my god! But he's such a great guy. I hope he comes back and is involved with the
Regresa,
Sounders.
Leo, regresa.
Yeah.
That was the
was
first
a great
autograph
servant.
I ever got from a Sounder, by the
great
way.
guy.
You played for Siggy and Caleb, and you've talked a lot about how they're very different. We're going to go a different angle. Grandma wants to know, of the managers you hadn't played with, who do you wish you could have played under for an experience?
Bruce Arena. Easy choice. Bruce Arena. Or second, Jason Christ. Jason Christ, because of the way they played, just was the ball on the ground. Was great. I met Jason Christ at my combine before I got drafted, and we talked about that, how they played. So I remember hearing from him. And then obviously over the years playing against these teams, they were great. Bruce, they win. I mean, LA's fun. I mean, I hate to say it, but that team they had was they would start the season so badly, and then at the right moment, they'd catch fire.
Again.
It's kind of interesting. You played for Siggy, old school MLS
Yeah.
coach. You played for Caleb, who's like one of the up-and-comers.
Yeah, new-
and then the
new
two
school.
you mentioned are the only guy more old school than Siggy that's still coaching.
pretty
Bruce.
much.
And
Yeah.
then Jason, who
like
is
Caleb,
kind
yeah.
of in that Caleb generation.
Yeah. So I see. I mean, they're all good coaches. If I could absolutely pick one coach to play with from your question, it probably would be Bruce, just because I enjoyed. Caleb was great, but Ziggy's experience was you could always see it coming through at times. If we were losing 3 or 4 games in a row, he's seen that before and he's used to it. Caleb, at times, if you went on a bad run, it's his first time going on it too, and he would let you know, and it would show through. So from that perspective, I'd probably choose Bruce because he's probably seen it all as well.
I'm going to ask a little bit of a follow-up because you were in an academy with one of the most well-known coaches in charge of it. Did you talk to Wenger much?
Yes.
Like, talk about like how he interacted with his academy players back. I mean, we're going
Way back.
That's a way back
Yeah.
machine right now.
I
But
signed for Arsenal
Great question.
in 1997. Arsene Wenger had just arrived.
wow,
He changed the team's diet, the first team top down, and then he used to come to the academy teams and implement the same training methods to the academy. We started getting tickets to games. Every home game, you had a ticket. They wanted you to go and watch the player in your position. And that was at the request of Arsene Wenger. So I used to watch Lundberg, Robert Perez every week as a kid. Thierry Henry, all these guys. And then
have you focus on a single player.
single player. Watch
Don't
the
watch
guy.
the game.
Watch
Watch
what they
one
do.
Your
player.
position.
Yeah.
Watch what he does. I would during the summer when we were off from school and they were still training during the season. We'd go and train next to them. So Henri, Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Kanu are training there. I was 10, 11 years
Rough
old
time.
training here.
Wow.
And the first and only autograph I've only gotten in my life is Arsene Wenger, and I got it when I was 10 years old, and I still have it. So I knew him there, but I didn't have much day to day with him. There was a lot of academy coaches who he trained that I spoke to every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he
That's
was
a
great.
really good
that
story.
is a great story, man.
We have a couple more questions if you're still
Yeah,
good.
let's do a couple more, yeah.
So Todd asked about like American kids, like a lot go to college, or have to make that decision about going pro or going to college. Is it completely different everywhere else that like you've seen? Like, is that not even the same thought process for the talented players because of academies? Or
You go. Yeah, absolutely. The best case scenario, you sign someone when you're 9, you go all the way through that team's ranks, you play pro. Most of my friends were turning pro at 16 or 17. My brother did, latest 18. I turned pro at 20, going on 21. So the way I looked at it, I had a 3-year. They had a 3-year head start on me.
Yeah.
And you can't coach that into anyone. So I could never criticize the college system. It helped me. But the ideal scenario, you want Jordan Morris with the first team by the time he's 16. Because he'd be 3-4 years along now.
16?
Yeah.
And
On
like
the
if we're
first
talking
team?
about
every day,
this,
not playing games, but training every day with
Yeah.
the first team. Every day.
So like Victor
Exactly.
signed
Yeah.
straight out of high
Boom.
school. He was doing high school and first team training at the same
Yeah.
time. You
That's-
want to see more of that.
Yeah, because eventually those guys, the really good ones, like Jordan's, his acceleration process is going to be so quick.
yeah,
His maturity is going to grow from being around those guys. If you're 16, between 16 and 19, and you're training behind Alba and Clint every day, as good as Stanford is or Akron is, there's
They're
no
not-
comparison.
that's right.
So that's the ideal scenario.
But at the same
Wow,
point, it was
yeah.
right for you because you've talked about that a little bit
Yeah.
because you were coming back from an injury.
So
at
I
that
wasn't
time.
ready. Yeah. Had I not been injured, I never would have come to the States. I would have signed somewhere in England or Europe or somewhere. But being injured, I had to kind of find the back entrance into the pro game. I found that in MLS. But the ideal scenario is eventually this country moves away from the college system for our sport. It works for other ones, not our one. And every academy is producing players. That's what I want to see in general.
How many you're around now more often? How much time do you get to spend watching the academy and then S2 training? I know you watch plenty of first team, but
Yeah. I watched first team. I was at S2 training today. They were doing a little recovery session, but their subs were playing some. So I stopped by there today. The academy, when I was coming back from my leg injury 4 or 5 years ago, I trained with the academy. And that was of my own request because I wasn't getting much playing time. I train with the first team in the morning, go home, relax, come back in the evening, train with the academy to get some fitness. So I was around those guys, DeAndre, Darwin Jones, Jordan, whoever was around all those guys. Now, I haven't seen academy as much. What I'm trying to do when my schedule slows down is... I don't
your
want
schedule
Yeah.
slows down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No. I don't want to be a coach, but I do want to stop at the academy trainings and just watch and observe because working with young players for me has always been a passion. And so if there's some way I can get involved with that for the club, not in an official capacity, just for my own hobby or so, I probably would do that. Yeah.
So you do it for fun, really, not necessarily for a
Yeah.
career. Not like
When you retire, everything goes through your mind. I
Yeah.
thought about coaching. The more I thought about it, like you have to dedicate your whole life to it, and I just can't. So that's not on the table for me. But if I can be around the young kids and help them out, give advice, show them some things I did, then I'll do that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'll do that.
Yeah, a lot of
it's
good
a good question from
Yeah,
Brendan.
go ahead.
Which former Sounder that's still playing do you want to see come back to Sounders? They don't have to still be in MLS. They
Oba.
could be anywhere.
Oba.
Oba.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah.
Or Montero, but Oba.
Montero's pretty busy scoring right now.
Yeah.
He
Did he have
was
2 the
scoring
other
with it,
day?
Yeah. But no, Oba. Oba was, you see, there's been a lot of good players here, but he was different. He was
Yeah,
the
man.
most, I mean, just the most exciting. He could do, Freddie could do things, but I think Oba could do what Freddie did and more.
Yeah. That's
That
a
was
great way to put
what
it, man.
set Oba apart. And I played with both of them on the pitch, and Oba was just special.
Yeah,
Special
the way
player.
I like to say it is Oba gets you on your tippy toes. You get up and you're like, anything could happen. You don't want to miss it.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Oba kind of had the ultimate MLS skill set because he
Yeah.
was so physical, which for a lot of these great
Beast.
European players,
They're
they
not. Right.
don't have the speed or the
Right.
strength.
Right.
But he's on the ball
Yeah.
as he's shorter than you
yeah.
in
yeah,
real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
you're not going to knock
Yeah.
him off the ball.
He said 5'9".
Yeah.
No.
Oh, but and the thing is, Oba doesn't go to the gym. That's the thing. Like he never,
He just looks like that.
He never lifts.
never.
He don't lift.
When we had
Dude hung out at Barolo,
yeah, that's the spot. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And a couple other spots, and looked like that.
He
Damn.
never. Yeah. he
Without going.
Never.
the
never.
only workout he'd do
What?
with was
It's
the ball.
not fair.
That reminds me of somebody.
So he
Wow.
never, ever. So, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting because for one season, Lundberg's level was up there too. He just wasn't good his second year, but his first year, I don't think we made the playoffs
People
without him
forget
as well.
that
It was
first year.
it was
Yeah.
incredible. So There's a lot of guys that played at the top, but Oba there was just something about him. But I would put Eddie Johnson in that bracket. He was special when I played with him. I didn't spend much time with Clint, but obviously a special player. But Oba just edges everyone for me. Yeah.
Dave and I have talked about this a few times. I've talked to a few other folks, and they said, yeah, the Clint Oba thing. It was like Clint doing this, and then Oba was scoring. I don't think so.
No.
It's Oba was making moves,
Oba.
and again, this is not to take anything away from Clint Dempsey.
Right. No,
but there was something about those two out there that the defenders were like, what do we do with this?
Yeah.
And then Oba was like, oh, just take the ball and run through three of you.
Yeah. No, without question. I mean, they're both together special, but one who was kind of the catalyst for what they did is Oba. Without question. You watch those games and watch back what he brought. It's so hard. You go watch him in training because he's just the same.
I would just stop and just watch.
We've seen Clint
I'd be like, damn.
about a third of the year without Oba, and we saw Oba for a half season without Clint.
Yeah.
The Oba EJ Morrow was a good combination.
Yeah.
Clint had some time to integrate, but once those two had an off season together,
Right.
they for 2 years they were both MVP candidates.
It was unbelievable. And they were competing with Keane and Donovan down in LA, and I think it was so good for this club to have two guys to go toe to toe with guys down there, and who were actually probably better. So it was great. The support show season, 2014 season, the stuff they did was just. I was on the Portland team when Obo ran through the whole team and did that. And I mean,
what was the locker room like talking about that play? Man?
There's nothing you can do. I mean, there's nothing you can do. Before every game, you have a scouting report. This player, you stop him like this, that player like that. For Oba, you kind of just
pray.
He's good.
You'd see like 6 defenders around Clinton Oba in like 10 yards of space, and then all of a sudden one of them pops out, the ball's at their feet, they're one on goal, and it's like
it was just so weird. Guys in the box, and there's literally 3 guys there, and they're all in a scuffle, and then he just comes out the other side with the ball.
Yeah, but they work on that in training, the two of them. So it was but it was special.
That's really awesome. Special. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
It's probably an answer that we all like.
Yes, very much so, man.
What do you, Yedlin's obviously getting some play right now.
Yes.
You think he's going to stick out there? I mean, obviously, they still have a chance to get relegated, right? Potentially?
Yeah.
If they win, they can't. If they draw, they need help. If they lose, they might still stay up.
Yeah. But, I mean, do you think he stays there for a while, whether on that club or elsewhere? Do you think he sticks around in EPL?
I hope he does. I actually talked to DeAndre this weekend. DeAndre, I knew him. I'll tell you a story. I knew him when he was in the academy here. He sent me a message on Facebook years ago asking me, should he go to Akron to play?
And you were like,
your answer is like, that or pro. That's it. That's
exactly.
our only choices.
And this is way back. And then I told him, if you want to go pro, go to Akron. Caleb Porter will get you into the league. He went to Akron. I remember the end of DeAndre's, I can't remember, first or second year, he was having a really rough time. And Caleb asked me to fly out to Akron, Ohio. I flew there to talk for the specific sole purpose of talking to DeAndre. Because mentally, they were saying that his head wasn't in it. We sat down on the training pitch. He spoke for about an hour, just chatting. Me just trying to pump him up. And then it was the following year he came to us in Seattle. And he'll tell you, Jimmy Traore, myself, Eddie, we were around him every day, talking to him. He was on the second team when he first came because Adam Johansson was a starting right back. So I used to go against DeAndre every day in training. And he'll tell you, at the time, I used to give him a few lessons. But I used to tell him, you have all the physical tools to one day stop me so that every time I can't beat you. And I had to get that into him. And then he got his starting job and he's gone. It's unbelievable. Where he's at now, playing at Sunderland in a relegation fight, I think it's great for him. Because he's playing every week. They're must-win games. It's a different environment. He looks confident. He had an assist on the weekend. I hope he's maybe not Tottenham, but I hope he stays not just in Europe, but in England.
In EPL, yeah.
He's doing well, yes. We had a chance to catch up a little bit, and he's doing well.
He seems, I think, a lot more confident than he did
sure.
6 months ago.
Yeah, totally.
The World Cup was when he came back from that, his confidence was at an all-time high. And with that, you can go one of two ways. You can become overconfident, or you can be prepared to do the work you did that got you there. And he chose the latter. And he's a good kid, DeAndre. He's a kid who he'll listen. You give him advice. He'll put he's good. We gave him a lot of stick for his first ever goal because when he scored it against Mexican team Tigres,
the long distance,
he ran straight to celebrate with Ziggy. And we told him you can't do that. You come celebrate with the players, not the coach. So we gave. He got a big bear hug from Ziggy, and we told him don't do that. But no, he's a good kid, and I hope he stays there. You know, I'd love to see him one day come back here. Like
He seems the type that if he comes,
comes back, he's coming this way.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But no, great kid, good player. I got a lot of time for. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll do a couple more and then I'll go.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Yeah, for sure.
We could probably talk to you for like 2 more hours.
man.
So.
This is great. This is bring me back one day. This is great, honestly.
Done.
So on that note, so before I forget, Erin, who's normally here, has messaged us about 100 times?
Yeah.
About 100 times in the last 10 minutes, just to seriously thank you for being here, but B, like, say anything that the show can do for you.
Absolutely.
Kingdom
that
Hope.
he wants to make happen.
I
So yeah.
To let
Frankly,
you know
I would say all of us feel that way.
Yeah.
So
The past 2 seasons, Sonarfeed has done their FIFA tournament, or 3 years for the Sonarfeed, supporting the Lamar Nagel Foundation. 4-year tournament. It's raised over $25,000 for what Lamar's doing. Totally changed.
Amazing.
His goals
Amazing.
went from being, I'd like to help a little bit, and to
that's amazing.
I'm going to do a lot. So
Seriously, like
we'd love to mobilize with you
anything you guys
too.
need to
Absolutely.
mobilize. That's why we
Yeah.
wanted to bring you here.
Yeah, no,
honestly,
this is
we,
great, man.
We've known about your event, and we wanted to make sure we get the details out. We get people hyped up because it should be hyped up.
Yeah.
This is like the celebrity
It's a big
soccer
game.
game of the year period event you have to go to. You know.
Absolutely.
So-
Appreciate it.
And-
I was just say we're honestly so excited for Sunday because it's
can't
just going to
wait.
be a blast.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
As
Appreciate it.
somebody who grew up in South King County, to know that like you're working with Pac Northwest, which is basically the top club here in South King County, that's pretty awesome because we're this area of the county is pretty diverse. It's everything from kind of Newcastle to Kent and Auburn and Fedway. It's not it's economically diverse, and there are people who need help. There are people that are blessed, and so it's a great thing to continue working with them. I'm glad I'm glad you chose them for the first club to work with. I know you and your goals are much broader than that. You'll eventually help clubs all over the Puget Sound, but let's get you like you said. Ideally, it's 5 here. So let's do 6 then.
For sure.
Your goal's 5. We'll help you to 6.
For sure. No, thank you.
Well, definitely want to get this question, and then
we want to do that. Brendan wants to know, Zach Scott, Mr. Sounder?
Yes. When I think of Sounders, I think of Zach Scott, and I think of Roger Levesque. That's for me. At this time, because he's still playing, it's tough to go against Zach. Yeah, if you're going to play on a broken ankle for the team and for your body on the line, then yeah.
And again, folks, buy your tickets tonight. And this book, autographed, live by our man Steve, will be yours. Somebody is going to get this, so get your tickets out. Get them, buy them. Eventbrite.
KH.Eventbrite. KH. Kingdom Hope.
Yes, Kingdom Hope. Any question of us to the crowd, to our friends, our cast?
No, honestly, I can just say thank you guys, each and every one of you. And I mean that truly. All the supporter groups, all the different community people connected with the Sounders. Now that I'm not playing, I'm way more active on Twitter. So I see everything you guys. One thing I love that you guys critique the team, praise the team, because when I grew up in England, after the game, we go to the pub like this, and that's what we do. We just talk about the game.
That's exactly what this
did you
is,
see
man.
Henry should have done that? And I'm saying no, like that. And there's nowhere else, I think, in America where they have that. And to have that here, for me, I love reading the comments when the game's going on and that.
Most of the comments.
It's amazing. Honestly, I love it. Thank you guys. You guys, since I came, your support of me has been first class. I still think the stadium, the loudest it's been on my comeback, which for me, that means the world to me.
Man.
Awesome.
And it's great. And then I hope the things I keep doing for this community, you guys support that, and in return, I'll support the things you guys are doing as well.
A Sonarfeed related question. I know you have somebody here waiting for you and everything. You're not going to do it tonight, but you said you're going to do another show in the future.
Yeah.
We normally karaoke afterwards.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It gets popping.
I mean,
now
I know
I
know you're a little busy tonight. She's smiling.
It's just like the after parties for events. Trust me, it gets popping.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
when you stay to do karaoke, which is on your next visit, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not trying to drag him in. What song would you karaoke?
Man, let me see. Like, can it be anything?
Anything.
Man.
Dude, they went way deep
Trust me.
into like indie band stuff. So
Oh
yes,
man, if you
they've
find
got-
me any Biggie Smalls track, I'll do it. I promise you.
Super Nintendo, Sega
Genesis.
Genesis. When I was there, bro.
That's
Hey, don't get me
happening.
going. Don't get me going.
Yeah, I've seen some videos. So
That's
you,
my guy.
I've seen some videos.
I
So
got
you
the
throw it
I got
down.
the eye, by the way.
Get me going.
Yeah.
I'll do Biggie. Yeah.
Well, man, I got the pen.
Let's do it.
I got the book. Right
Let's do
here.
it.
So someone's gotta tonight send us proof
At
that they bought their
Sonarfeed.
tickets
Yep.
at
DM it.
Sonarfeed.
You're on the
to our
Twitter.
Sonarfeed at Sonarfeed Twitter account. And this autograph book will be yours. So make sure you buy your tickets. Go there Sunday. I'll see you guys. We'll all see you guys. You'll see him. You'll see Landon, Ocho Cinco, 39 players, family, community. That's what we're about. Steve, thank you, man.
Thank you.
You're
This
the
was
man.
great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you for
Thank you.
coming
Thank you.
down.
Thank you. This was
And
great.
you're always welcome. Anything you ever need to do, you want us to share.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank
At
you, guys.
any time, man.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
As Hugo's giving Steve big hugs and whatnot, we got a sample of the thing going on here. Thank
right,
you very
Steve.
much for staying so long, Steve.
Which one?
We
You guys could give it up for Steve.
Can we give Steve some love?
it was off camera, but his wife, when I mentioned the karaoke,
Oh, we're on.
no, his wife was off camera when I said the karaoke, and he got excited. She's like,
She was like, no.
because that song on there. Oh,
Let's see, title.
oh, your phone? Thanks, Jermaine.
There's no truth to the rumor
So-
that we have
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Zakuani's phone right now.
Yeah.
So if you're listening at
Yeah.
home, Steve originally
Oh, that-
said that
that's
he'd give
right.
us
That
about a
one's
half
juicy. The one
hour,
we're singing
and
is
here
called
we
Juicy.
are,
This one's-
72
that's
minutes
one
later.
of his songs. That one's a
So
good one. But that
a
one
sub
is
appearance.
juicy.
Pretty
You know,
much, pretty normal for Steve. All in.
Yeah, it
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
What a great experience.
Yeah,
huh?
man. That was a lot of fun, man.
That was super fun. Can we just talk to Steve for like a week?
Dude. Yeah. And that's usually how it goes, man. We just keep talking and talking. He was super gracious. Said, he has another engagement. Could only hang out for a little bit. Stayed here for a long, long time. So
We get to like 6 a.m. We'd be like, what's
Yeah.
your favorite cereal?
yeah, right.
Tell me about that time when you were in North London. Yeah. There were some great stories. There's stuff that
Yeah.
That was super fun. He had a
It
couple
was,
of
man.
nuggets for sure.
Yes, for sure. The David Beckham one. That was super cool to know that.
Him
man.
calling out like specific goals though.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then Flacco scored on a
Yeah.
header.
Leo, the biggest cheater. Love you, Leo. Regresa.
Shout
Regresa.
outs to Leo.
Come back and defiéndete, Leo. No, but that was awesome, man. It's so glad, guys. Seriously, man. Get this book. Get those tickets. Send that DM, man. We're going to have fun. I'll be there. We didn't even get to really talk about the game, but it's
We still have
okay.
some time if we
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
stay. I mean, Mark, do you
so-
want to stay? Dave, what
hey,
about you?
man.
I'm here, committed.
Yeah. I thought it was a good game. Probably their best game that, and now I haven't gone and rewatched it, but definitely like the one where I least
I like you.
complained about. I thought the
like it.
offense,
You're nice.
offensively, like we looked pretty damn good.
They had some. San Jose had a couple moments,
Yeah.
and it wasn't really like breakdowns, but they did what they should, having a decent team. But all around, I don't know. I mean, solid at a minimum, And I think for a lot of people, and you saw Steve give him a shout out to Freeburg.
Yeah.
We do the ECS Player of the Match every week, and it's been, a little bit of Fry, a little bit of Alonso, mix and match. We got twice as many votes as we did somewhere around there for the last few weeks, and it was Freeburg with 48%.
Nice.
So what's
Yeah.
great is, like, sometimes you just don't notice stuff. Like, if you're not watching Defenders or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't catch up with everything. But, like, that's counting the people at home, the people who were at the match, the people who watched it on a replay later, and so on. And he, like, blew it away. And sometimes, your goal scorers win that kind of stuff. I think that was really exciting to see. One, the enthusiasm for Freeburg, and two,
Yeah,
the fact
totally.
that he took it away.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, for sure, man. I definitely like Wando choking. That was great. That was so great.
I mean, who doesn't like that?
right? Oh, it's the greatest.
And it's so funny to see the
I love it
comments.
on both sides, on
Right?
the national team side. And
And it's just funny. It's funny all around. People are like, "Oh, well, Fry guessed wrong," and I'm like, "It's a penalty. People guess wrong all the time."
Yeah.
But it's like you don't always get the you guessed wrong and you hit the post.
Yeah.
And the outside of the post at that.
I always have a theory that you want your American or your Canadian players taking the penalties because they, in high school and college, you have so many more opportunities to take PKs
Right.
in competitive situations than players from Europe or South America do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That makes sense.
An
More
American
pressure
MLS
situations.
player will put it on goal, and a post is not considered on goal 95% of the time. A foreign player will only do it about 80% of the time.
Wow.
So there's a significant difference, and it comes down to what it's practice.
Yeah.
Brad Evans practices it, and that's why he's really good. They had Wando. Wando's pretty good, and he missed.
Yep.
Um,
Loved it. Loved
Yeah.
it. I saw Freakonomics, or listened to a Freakonomics podcast talking about the economic or the theory of percentages of PKs. It was really interesting. I wish I could remember all the details, but I'm going to look it up tonight. It was really cool to how they broke it down, going right, going left, the whole making themselves big type of thing. I'm just glad that he missed it. That was great, man. We needed those are the things that have not been going our way all year long, man. So it's like,
Mark.
Did you guys watch much of MLS this weekend besides our game?
I mean, there was a dirty goal by Dos Santos.
Oh, that was
yeah.
dirty. But I felt like I saw a lot of either crossbar or post.
Ooh, that one that they missed.
I mean, there's at least 3 or
that
4
LA
besides
Revs
ours.
game, when I saw
What was that?
the formation
Yeah.
LA was coming out in with who they were starting, I'm like, the over-under is 5.5 goals.
Yeah, I couldn't
on
figure out
this
that
'cause-
formation, man, but I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game.
Well, I mean, big red freshness and all that, but Larenkowicz as your only real central midfielder
Well-
and no one else, you could get away with that like 5 years ago. He was capable, but now,
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, if you want to talk competitive clubs in the West, forget the East for a minute.
Right.
But let's look at the West. Think about that last game in the rain that Sounders played against the Galaxy preseason and what we all were saying about their defenders. And it's not to say their defenders are better, but if you're going to punish people on offense, your defenders can take a minute.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, God forbid LA starts dropping 2 to 5 goals a week on people.
yeah, I mean, that's what they're going. They're
Yeah.
going. I mean,
Just
it was what won
bash people
Seattle
in.
the Supporters Shield was that run and gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna score 3. Good luck.
But that's why I'm really glad that right now our defense is getting all this.
The
basically-
defense has had one bad game.
Yeah.
That's
Did you
exactly-
see the Zach's comments about the back line? He was
Zakuani?
like, no,
Zach
Zach Scott said best back line in the league on Sounders, and it's not close.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I don't know if I could argue with him. Like, if you really look at it, if you had the
Jones,
ideal 4
Mears,
back there,
I
Chad
kind of think
Marshall.
that Mears might be the.
Mears has
The
had
weak
his
spot
Colorado.
and that's
His Colorado match was not good.
Yeah, I agree. And he's had a couple of moments, man, that's been tough. Let's see, what is
But
that?
is he like?
He's trying to put it on camera. I
Is
don't
he
know.
After
trying
watching
to-
games today, Ty, Joe, Sheriff, Big Man, hands down the best back
Oh,
four
the
in the league.
Zakuani
It's not
statement.
even close. Yeah.
Was
And
was it
imagine
Zach?
this, man.
Or was it
But
Zakuani?
we don't even
no,
have-
Zach Scott's
Zach
statement
Scott, yeah,
on Twitter.
on Twitter.
we
Yeah.
don't even have Torres back.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. Torres
I'm
though
almost
is going to
worried.
replace Brad.
Probably Mears,
You think?
and then Brad
You
goes
push
right
Brad
back.
out?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean it does.
Yeah.
Mears has.
If
it's-
Mears is your backup right back, you've got
Okay.
a really good team.
Okay.
Yeah. your D is solid.
And let's be honest, the depth there is pretty good too. And I'm not talking when Torres comes back. Zach Scott as a third center back who's getting spot starts is fine.
yeah.
Dylan Remick as your backup left back is great.
Yep.
O'Neal Fisher has been a little shaky down at S2 lately, but he's still pretty damn good.
I think someone
I don't
needs
know
to
that
have
many people are better right back. Like, how many teams go 3 deep at right back in MLS?
0.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
So you've got Brad Evans, O'Neal Fisher backing up Tyrone Mears, or Tyrone Mears and O'Neal Fisher backing up Brad Evans. And the defense, and it's really, I mean, no, they don't get a lot of shutouts, but they're barely over a goal a game in goals against average. And they, if you look at expected goals, they had one horrible performance against Colorado.
Colorado was bad.
You know what's interesting,
That
though?
first half
LA's
against
defense
Houston
right
was
now is really good. Now, they're rolling the dice in any game, either Cashley Cole or Gel Van Dam or who's the
Leggett?
central midfielder that
Leggett?
is violent? No, Leggett's an attacking guy. One of those two is probably going to get suspended every
I think
other
that's
game.
legit.
Legit. Oh.
Yeah.
To
Who
Leggett.
is that guy?
To Leggett to...
That dude on
Leggett.
LA.
I mean, they've got...
No.
that likes
No,
getting
he's a
Van
suspended.
Dam is probably who I was
The
talking
one that likes
Alright.
injuring people
So,
that
I
isn't
think-
Van Damme.
I think
No.
someone
Van
needs
Damme.
to have that talk
starting center back.
with
AJ.
I can't remember his
You
name.
know what's interesting is
Fisher.
Daniel Steres, guy not good enough to make the Sounders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Starting center back for LA right now because De La Garza is a better right back. Now that Omar Gonzalez is gone, De La Garza can't be a center back. When he was paired with Omar, and he did that through
It's Nigel.
Nigel De Jong.
Yeah.
Is the other one. I was
How do we
thinking of.
forget that guy's name? He's
So they
hurting
have
people
three
left-
guys.
He's probably hurting somebody right now.
Yeah. Not as bad as that guy from.
Do we let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, that was bad.
The
God.
Pittsburgh guy?
Oh,
What
Yeah,
was that?
Dude,
all you know
he's
what?
gotta be arrested.
Big
But,
up,
like, bye,
big ups
Felicia.
on the Riverhounds
Yeah.
because they fired
Next
the dude.
day, next morning.
Yeah, done.
Done.
I mean,
Well-
we had a dude 2 foot a man in the nuts off the ball, and all he did was get 3 games in a trial with the first team. So
Yeah, that's not the best move.
No
there.
comment.
No, I mean-
no, but seriously, the worst part about that was when first time you watch it, you're like, oh, well, it's kicked him. That's really horrible. Then when you watch the whole thing,
He'd already
dude
been red carded.
follows him around.
it was a
Yeah.
double
See
red
See him,
and
he's
chasing.
thinking about it,
Yeah.
and then he boots the guy.
I hope he's okay. I haven't seen anything about if he's
Like,
alright.
I've seen
the player
things like
that
that
got
in
hit in the
ice
back
hockey.
is fine.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
He got on the team bus in his hospital gown, though. So there were some pics of that where he's on the team bus. He was moving okay. That was good. Parks, the Pittsburgh player, was cut by his team. USL announced that he is suspended for the remainder of the season, no matter who he plays for. There's no word yet on if USSF has extended that to other leagues.
So,
Dude, that dude is
yeah,
untouchable.
He's untouchable, man. Unless someone just
Again,
forgets.
I would like to think so.
Well, for a
but
minute. At
we had a
least.
player 2 foot a man in the nuts off the ball and only got a 3-game suspension, and later that season was invited to the first team. So if you're a good player, and Parks is actually a good player, had a great season
Yeah.
going
I mean,
up until that point.
There is that guy who bites
He is
people,
going to get his second
you know?
chance. He's going to get his second chance.
Oh, and,
Hell,
and you
look
know
at
what?
the LA Galaxy. They have a man who cleated
Yeah.
a dude in the chest in the World Cup,
Right.
Oh, my God.
and he's on their roster. They have Del
That's
Van Dam,
crazy.
who's broken 3 dudes' legs.
I have
on
to
their
say, though,
roster.
like, that was hard to not want to talk to Steve about that. Because there were that incident and a couple of
Yeah.
other things. I think there's a point I would love to hear from him about
Yeah.
just like injuries.
Yeah, of course.
And he's commented on the Brian Mullen situation and so on, and that's fine. But like, I can't even imagine being in a position where you've had something
see him
happen
go
to
off
you.
on Kurt Larson?
and yes.
Oh, yeah.
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 And good for him, man. Like, which one? Kurt Larson.
But you know, going back to O'Neal Fisher, man,
Well, you
I
watched
re-
the S2 games, and
I know.
remember how good he was?
I know
with the first
so
team.
this is where I'm going. You know how Steve mentioned that they went and had a talk with Yedlin? Someone needs to come and talk to Fisher, man, and just I think it's in his head because he's got the talent to be one. He's done it.
I think that red card just kind of threw off
Yeah,
his
that's exactly
defensive
it.
game, and
It just
Oh, it's
he's
different
so cautious
since then.
right
For
now.
certain.
completely. And someone needs to talk to him, and be like, dude, just go back to
I
what you
said
were doing.
not only is he he's no longer the second best right back on the team. Now he's the second best right back with the last name Fisher, because Devin Fisher is S2's other right
Yeah.
back. And
And I'm like, man, and he was. I think he can get back there. Someone have a talk with him. I mean, I'm not that guy, but someone needs to have a talk with him for sure. For sure.
I mean, that should be Ty
Yeah.
or Brad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a first-team player that is part of their future. That's 2 dudes with right back experience, one in the EPL, one with the U.S. national team. I mean, Fisher's on the Jamaican 40-man, the prelim for the Copa America. Kid's got a future.
For sure.
What we need right now is the kid got a now.
Yeah.
And
he was there. He was just there, but that red card, man. Red card.
Right up until the red card, it was like, whoa, Ty is got competition. And now it's like, no.
Yeah. It's tough, man. What about this game? So this last game we got 3 points. This coming is Dallas, right?
At Dallas.
Yeah, at Dallas. So I thought of these as must have 3 points because, we're going to start hitting the road and then boom, Copa America and everybody's gone. So this is like the last home match with everybody.
And they got it. I mean, they're 4-1-1 in their last 6 games.
Okay. You all right? Yeah, okay. I feel much better.
They made that surge. It was good. But now they're on the road. The good news is it's Dallas in May, not
Right.
and it's Dallas in May after 3 straight losses.
In a not good moment. Yeah.
Is Castillo there, or did he go to Europe?
No, he's there.
Oh,
He's there.
God, that guy's scary, man.
Dallas hasn't had a
beast.
shutout since March 26th.
Oh, we're due for goals.
So they're going to give up goals. Like, if you look at their 3 straight losses, they've had this one was just a 1-0 over this weekend, but they also gave up 3 and gave up 4. And in those 3 losses, I'm going to repeat all their goal scorers in their last 3 losses. They lost by a total of 8 goals. Here's their goal scorers.
You want to turn up Dave's mic a little bit?
This is a team with Fabian Castillo, Maximilio Rudy, Barrios. They're talented in the attack.
0?
They have 0 goals in the last 3 games.
Wow.
They have
He's
one.
in
No, that's Houston.
No, it's Houston. Yeah.
Houston and Dallas are the same as long as you ignore humidity.
That's right.
And the fact that red
Unless-
and orange are not the same color.
Yeah, and also there's
Some people have those
there's
troubles.
probably a
though.
lot less like malls and churches.
1 goal in
Houston.
their last 4.
Wow.
0 goals in their 3 losses.
So we're primed for a big win, basically.
And they've given up 9 goals in
Yeah.
4
I'd love
games.
to torch Dallas in Dallas.
We need to. Oh, that'd be nice.
This is not an unbeatable
Shout outs
team.
to Gina
Then again,
from from Dallas Security.
what? Gina,
Story for another day.
Are you sure?
Anyway.
Are you sure another day?
We don't have that much time.
Oh my God.
Steve
We'll bring it back.
Lisa gave
Oh, yeah,
a
that's a
shot
good
at us
question.
on Twitter, and Zakuani retweeted it. Thanks a lot, Lisa.
So we got a question, and Steve had asked, and who had asked on Twitter? Adam had asked just about like ECS showing up on Sunday. So again, this is semantics, so you can argue with me about it later. There will be a lot of ECS present on Sunday. ECS as an organization supports Sounders. So if it's a Sounders club, whether it's S2 or the under 23s or Sounders women or whatever it is, that's the deal. Some of the stuff you do is not necessarily Sounders related, even at this event with a ton of Sounders playing.
Right.
So before anybody asks, expect to see a lot of ECS there. You're going to hear a song or two, but it's not the same deal. And it's not like the whole group is showing up the same way that they
It's kind of
normally
like
would.
if you go to a rain game, there are a lot of ECS people there, but it's not the ECS taking charge. If you go to a U.S. national team game, there are a lot of ECS there,
people, right.
but they're not in charge.
Right.
Dylan,
Dylan, who's hiding behind us.
I wouldn't be there.
Dylan, who's hiding behind us, is going to eat
You can
prawn
see him
sandwiches.
right there. That's Dylan right there.
He's creeping behind us right now.
Do they have prawn sandwiches at Starfire?
I mean, they might as well. White wine ultras.
I've not seen
At
prawn sandwiches.
Starfire, it's going to be the
I
Polish
want
dog
the,
rather than the regular hot dog.
The bola bola. Have you had that from the chicken truck?
What is it?
Oh man, the
What
chicken
is it?
truck. It's like I don't even know. It's like magic rice ball. It's amazing. Bola bola.
Well, with ice cream?
No.
Isn't it
It's Filipino.
isn't it a mochi ball? A mochi?
No.
It's
Bola
Starfire. Your
bola.
choice is on
BOLA times 2.
All right.
About this big.
I'm down. I'm down.
Anyway.
Sounds good to me.
So
We're
Tom.
degrading the conversation
Yeah.
right now.
So-
yes, Mark.
as far as ECS folks being there, are we going to try and assume our traditional at the end of the stand
That's
area?
an excellent question. I mean, we're gonna ECS members will likely congregate
Where
on
they
the
know.
east side of the stands, as they generally do. I mean, I can't speak for ticketing because I don't know exactly how that's gonna
It's
roll.
first come, first serve.
Yeah. But generally speaking, given who's gonna be there and who's
You guys got your tickets?
everyone has tickets, dude.
Good.
Yeah, I'm treating
Ugo-
it as my
Ugo has
birthday
3 tickets.
celebration.
Bought 2 extras, or he got his for free.
Anybody doing the meet and greet?
Good night, Adam.
I didn't. No, I only have mine,
If you need
man.
tickets,
I don't have that
go to
extra.
kh.eventbrite.com.
I don't have it. I have it right. I have.
If you
GA.
need tickets, you go to the website, you buy a ticket. It's the
Yes.
eventbrite.com. Search for Zakuani
it.
and Friends, and
Do
you
it.
message Sonarfeed because we got a signed book for you. So get your tickets.
And there's both general admission and the post game meet and
Yeah,
greet
we don't-
available
we don't care
still.
what level you buy. Like if you
Yeah, it
spend the
doesn't matter.
$1,000,
Get a
you're
ticket.
in.
No,
If you
there's-
spend
there's
the
only 2 levels
$25,
left.
Yeah, there's only like the 50
Oh, everybody
and
already bought
the
all the
and
fancy
the general
25 and
admission,
50 or whatever it is.
25
yeah.
and 50, yeah.
Yeah, I got general admission, and that's fine. You could still win this bad boy.
Hugo also
That's
knows
right.
people. So.
Hey, if you're really crazy, you just show up because it's going to be the day after my birthday. So just show up for
Oh
my
my
birthday
God!
party.
Saturday's your birthday.
Are you turning 28?
Yeah. Closer to twice that than 28.
Where's the party at?
Party's going to be at
Starfire.
Mark's house, actually. No.
Oh, actually on Saturday, yeah.
Technically, like, my wife is currently at 90% to go to a soccer event. Some of you know how rare that is.
Whoa!
Because I'm like, hey, it's my birthday and it's what I'd like you to do, and I've got a ticket. And if you don't go, somebody else is coming.
So she'll be there. So
Hey,
she'll be
hey,
there
Dave.
Sunday.
Dave, you should hold the microphone in front of your mouth.
Oh, apparently Kyle Shields is going to be affluent ECS pitch side on Sunday.
Oh,
Shields
They got a table? Did they get one of those 4
Mama
tables?
So we don't really do shout-outs, but I'm going to give shout-outs to the Kyles and to
Oh
Beth
my God!
and to
yes.
for
Yes.
Saturday.
Killed it.
I thought it was awesome.
Dude.
And again, this is nothing on anybody that capos, but I think Derek and Heather and others are like, let's bring on what's coming next. And that was pretty hot.
Yes, it was amazing.
And
Sarah up at the 121 top.
Upper.
My girl Sarah.
Shields
upper.
all over the place.
Yeah, just all over. Very, very proud. I got emotional, no joke. Like seeing, because I was right in front of Sarah in the second half, and watching Kyle do his thing, and then it was like
My favorite
Well-
topo, though, is still dead center. Tim Blakely.
Tim
Oh,
and Wade is
yeah.
hype man.
So yeah, man. I've
I
gone
don't
on
know
road
Wade
trips
much.
Tim
with the
is
Shields.
outstanding.
Wade's bought me beer before, but I don't
And
know
seen
that I
them
know
do
his
their
name.
thing, man.
Yeah.
Much love, man. Much love.
We
and
thought that
respect.
pizza was just going to magically appear on the main stand with Kyle.
did it
Oh,
not?
I wish a pizza
didn't.
chain would have gone.
Have you tried to
Aaron
buy a slice
and
of pizza?
Beth
It's like
both
$8.50.
want us to remind everybody the U.S. Open Cup starts on Wednesday. The Sounders U23s are in that round.
Let's
And if
go.
they win, they get to play the Kitsap Pumas.
Oh,
Nice.
that's fast.
Yeah. The Wednesday
Did you see
game
that?
That would be
is
great
at
when they beat Levu
Bonnie
Bird.
Lake, not at their normal Sumner location, but at Bonnie Lake, Wednesday at 7. And then their home games will be at
That's right.
at the
Did you
Sumner.
did you see that
State.
there's a team in the Open Cup from Boston called Southie FC?
That's brilliant.
Brendan Vaughn found it today,
Awesome.
and he's like, I hope that team goes far. That would be super fun. Southie FC.
Southie.
There you go.
Southie.
Shout-outs
to
to
Grandma.
I'm not going to
Grandma's where
declare
she's
right
from.
now that I hate Boston.
Because when you think you don't have enough soccer, the U.S. Open Cup starts up, and we got a bunch of Wednesday night
Yeah.
games. Basically, now for
I would totally be there if
8
I wasn't
weeks,
going to be
maybe
in working in El Waco.
You know what though?
No,
Clint
they're
Dempsey,
not coin
you're not
tosses
allowed
anymore.
to play in U.S. Open Cup matches. We'll
ever
get
again.
you a ticket in the section for
Yeah.
any Sounders
Yeah.
U.S. Open Cup match that you want to
That's
go
right.
to.
Sad
Except the
reminder.
final. Except the final.
Clint has to miss 6 games or 2 years worth of Open Cup,
So forever.
whichever happens first. So you want the Sounders to make a deep run 2 years in a row, so Clint can have that appear in the semifinals
final.
next year. Be like, hey bitches, I'm back. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a very
He's
Clint
gonna roll up.
Like Clint
Oh,
Dempsey's
totally.
attitude. He's like, hey, you kept me out of this
I'm
tournament.
back.
But seriously, he actually will roll up, score 2 in the second half as a sub. 79th minute,
Oh,
Siggy
God.
subs in.
Yeah.
Clint
Deuce.
Dempsey's got a little Bruce Banner in him.
No,
You won't like
totally
me
not.
when I'm angry.
Very much. So.
Wow. I can't decide if this conversation's gone uphill or downhill right now.
No, man,
I'm all
this is
about Marvel,
perfect.
man.
It's a perfect.
I
Man.
shouldn't be, but I'm.
Did you
I'm
see
supposed to
Civil
be in
War
Bond
yet?
right now. No, no problem.
Did you see Civil War?
No.
Did you see Civil
I
War?
want to really bad.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Dude, I was born in 1983.
Wow. Mark just like looked at me blankly and then told me what year he was born in. Coog.
I'm actually excited too for Apocalypse. That's like the first X-Men that's excited me
later
since
this month.
the First Class story.
Apocalypse looks kind of dumb though.
So, I mean, when you compare it to Marvel right now, just because of the Marvel hype machine, man. But so I'm addicted to this game, and it's all related to Marvel right now.
All we are is just making B and Von money.
It is Champion.
Wait, which game?
It's not showing,
Marvel
dude.
Champion.
Bam!
Oh, Marvel Champions.
Contest of Champions?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a mobile game.
yeah.
Marvel.
Dude,
Looks like
I
a
am
lot of lightning.
addicted. It is. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Lincoln wins.
Aaron Riley's
We had
funny.
a Civil War spoiler. Lincoln wins.
Aaron Riley caught up to jokes from last week. Old man.
Dude, Aaron Riley is
Oh,
like,
yes.
what are they doing
I
to
know,
my
right?
show?
No, but so I'm going to Yakima the whole weekend on the 28th.
Yakima? Just
The
you?
28th.
Is it just you?
No,
You
I'm going.
and what subgroup?
Barra Fuerza Verde is going
To visit who?
to visit
Dry Side.
the Dry Siders.
Who else is going?
I think ECS is going.
Who else is going?
He's trying
Mark?
to plug James Woolard,
Are
dude.
you going?
No.
Are you going, Mark?
Sonarfeed is going.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
How did you forget that?
You forgot your show is going?
Do you even watch the show?
I know.
Have you seen Sonarfeed before?
I heard of it.
Didn't who was it that hadn't seen Sonarfeed
That's
before?
why I went.
Michelle?
I took acting in college for that reason, folks.
Have you
Also-
seen Sonarfeed before?
Also, yes, James Woolard will be there.
Yeah.
What's he
big
gonna
deal.
do?
He is going to be announcing the lineups
And goals.
and all the goals.
May there be many.
May
So
there
he's
be
gonna-
many.
yes.
Things like
Jordan. Morris.
I've been here at the Berliner when he's done it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
Kyle has confirmed that they do have pizza at Bill's place.
Yes.
You know what else they have in Yakima? They're
Cherries.
Wine.
Apples. Wine.
All
That's
the
what
Washington
they're gonna
wine
be in
ever.
New England.
and
Taking care of business.
Bale Breaker Brewing.
It's one of
Go,
3
Lance.
communities in Washington where if you want wine,
No, but
good long weekend.
hopefully you guys all make it. I want to see everybody. I'm gonna make a whole weekend out of it. I'm probably leaving Friday night, I think, and just hanging out with Kyle and them all.
Where are you going to stay? Kyle's house?
No, I don't know yet.
He doesn't know
I
yet,
don't
but
know
yes.
There's a couple hotels.
Yeah, someone's gonna look.
Just
at deals
camp
or
out.
something.
Uh,
yeah, whatever.
I might
mean, there's-
not recommend the Red Lion in Yakima. I've stayed there.
You just lost future sponsorship dollars.
Yeah, no, don't listen to that. We would love the Red Lion. If you want to sponsor us, we'd love to stay at your facilities for sure. So, yes. Also, another big shout out here was Hugo Al.
Pear cider, you say?
Did anyone buy a ticket yet and send you a DM?
Yeah, as a reminder, if you're not going to the Zakuani event and you're on the fence about it, somebody tonight is going to win a signed Steve Zakuani book, 500 Days. He signed it here on the show.
Live.
Buy a ticket to his event. One of you will win that signed book. So go to
Do it.
kh.eventbrite.com or go to eventbrite.com and search
And we'll send
for
out
Zakuani.
the links. We'll send
You'll
out
find
the
it.
links.
Somebody within the next 24 hours winning that book.
Boom.
Is
Seriously.
that what you wanted to do?
Yeah,
I mean, you
so
did a really good job there. That was pretty amazing.
I know my live reads.
Next
Steve
week,
would be proud.
next week, we'll see you guys. I'll be here.
I'll be here.
Aaron's
Mark
out.
will be here. Aaron, maybe. I think he's out though.
yeah,
Aaron
he's out.
may not be here, so I might try and sandbag my way into your show again.
Do
The,
it.
the fill-in hosts will just make ourselves available.
It worked out
as we
beautifully.
do.
It worked out beautifully.
I'm gonna ride Mark X. That's my.
It's like Uber, except it's not a
Yeah.
shitty company.
No, seriously, thanks.
I have a
man.
question.
Thanks to everybody. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out,
Sponsorship
sending
dollars.
amazing questions. Get that ticket so you can win this book.
Can I do one more plug?
Oh, by all means, as
Yes.
many as you want, as many as your heart desires.
No, the Berliner
Is it for
Pub
another
is
podcast?
awesome,
Finally.
Yes.
hosting
Yes.
us as they do.
Always.
Notice the good time Steve had, even though he only drank water this time.
Yes.
He's a healthy
That was the
nut.
best water they had, though.
Top notch. Top
Berliner
shelf.
Pub has been sponsoring you guys for
Yes.
5
Big shout
years,
out
basically.
for sure.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
Round
and
up.
Have done a great job. They've been the location that hosts the Lamar
FIFA.
Nagel FIFA tournament
Yep.
for all 4 seasons
Calm
of that.
down. It is a lot of fun. Like we're really, really blessed. We are really that too. But no, seriously, we are really blessed that we have so much support from here. And you guys heard it from Steve himself. He's like, this is really cool.
He's coming back.
yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah. He
And
liked
he's
the-
gonna drop
the
some
fact that
Biggie.
We do it here at a pub
Yep.
and have that
He's going to
atmosphere.
do it karaoke the next time he comes
Yeah.
because he's going to clear with his wife
So
the whole night.
Calm
rather
down,
than-
guys. We actually have as much
Live
fun
show.
live in person as you guys see
Y'all like
online.
the live show? Live show is good?
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
They don't
Yeah!
respond.
It's amazing! You guys are great! Woo! Woo! Oh yeah!
Let's go.
Crowd is going wild.
Let's go!
All right, guys.
Finally, it's the end.
Yeah.
Finally!
Yeah,
Finally.
finally!
Finally.
All right, thanks, guys.
Finally.
Sonarfeed appears to be having a few